Alright, welcome back to the channel everyone. Hope everyone's had a great week and looking forward to the weekend ahead. So this is the 10th war of the season. We're up against ISO8a, strong alliance. We've seen some of their stats and that they've been having, a really strong season. So off the back of 3 defeats, this is not the ideal matchup, but you've got to beat what you've got in front of you at the end of the day. So as you can see there, first fight is up against Void. Just had a quick double check of Shang's combos to know which one triggers what wushu. And yeah, I mean, I was so excited to see him back in my team. He is someone who I'm still getting to grips with, so I'm quite interested to play around with him more, get more practice with him in war. And he just absolutely wrecks Path 4, really. So yeah, the main one to keep up here is the cleanse. And as you can see, quick fight, he crushes it, doesn't take much damage back either. So yeah, nice easy solo to kick off. And then the second one is up against Dormammu. So I'm going to be taking this one with Torch, which will again make it pretty easy. I've only got 2 Torch fights, so I do use my pre-fight on this one just to melt it a bit quicker and avoid any potential mess ups. At the start there, I've taken Dex off as well. It's, I don't think on this particular node it's entirely necessary, but it's just better to be safe really in such a tight war. And, we really need to end the season strong to get ourselves back into Masters. There is also a node that I think reduces your ability accuracy based on when you have a debuff on you, so there's I think a chance that some parries might fail because that heal block will be permanent. So that's another reason really to take Dex off. As you can see as well, I made a slight mistake already as well, took a few hits to the face, but it's just going down so fast with Torch pre-fight on. And yeah, there's not a lot to worry about. As I said, pretty straightforward matchup for him. So the third fight is going to be a Mr. Native. Yeah, originally this one was put down for someone else with a Nick Fury, but I kind of had a look at it, and obviously with that Path 4 node being the one where you shrug stuff off, giving you a Fury being here, I just figured Shang versus Mr. Native is usually a good matchup, and it's just boosted even further by the node. So I asked if I could take it. I figured it'd actually be slightly less risky than Nick Fury, just because of heavy hitter, meaning, re-parries would be a bit more sketchy. And sorry, trying to avoid parrying, because obviously then he puts, I think it's called Delirium, Delirious, yeah, debuff on you. So with Shang Chi, you can just have the cleanse charge up, and it means you can just parry freely. Of course, that Dex on his special one just a few seconds ago was so stupid. I Dex so early and then just got slapped in the face by the last beam. But yeah, got the special 2 Dex and it was such a quick fight. Yeah, so Karnak just had some details of his buff announced. I took a little bit of the nick there with Shang Chi. And here is just a little sneak peek of Slimon trying to edge Tarfrey on to steal my Professor X fight that we've got coming up here. So unfortunately Tarfrey is a good man and let me go ahead as planned. I'd waited out on this one. I was initially going to take it in the morning. I was sleeping, so I'm from the UK, and it was getting a bit late, but thankfully we heard back from one of the other guys who was coming this side, so I knew he was going to be able to take the step. And this is my 4th fight and I've only 1 more afterwards, so after hearing he could come across to help with energy, I was like, okay, I'll boost up and just finish the last 2, and then that's my war done. So it was just trying to be a bit optimal with boosts, but yeah, it also means I could just free it up for them, and yeah, while I'm sleeping they can continue doing their thing. So this is a not too difficult node. I mean, it really depends on the placement. It can get quite difficult. It's probably one of the more difficult ones on the map, depending on the placement. But I didn't think Professor X was anything too much to be scared of here with Doom, of course, depending on who you take in as well. Can be worse, but I think Doom has it handled. I think I do take a little bit of, chip damage through blocks and missing a few parries maybe, but overall it's a pretty straightforward fight with Doom. Just a little bit slow because when he goes into mind control, then I'm locked off my specials, and so I have to just rely on my combos a bit more. And yeah, obviously with the falters, it's just a bit of waiting around here and there. So yeah, as you can see, a slight slip up there, but overall it's never a fight in doubt with Doom. I think it's really comfortable, just a slightly slow one. So yeah, not much else to say. But this one does get closed out nicely with Doom, and that makes it 4 out of 4 solos, and we go into the final fight of my war. So yeah, I did forget to mention as well that the nodes for this one are the MP mod, Bubble Shield, and I think something else, Burden of Might. So yeah, some of the dexes on his specials do also power drain me, and therefore that's another thing that contributes to the slower fight. But I think the main thing there really is just Bubble Shield, I guess, because obviously Doom's shock immune, so it doesn't take any damage from EMP mod. But yeah, as a result of that, you can just kind of dex freely, and it means less, chance of Bubble Shield becoming a problem. But yeah, going into the fifth and final fight that I had for this war, it's Sim Supreme on path 3. So this has, I think, Shitter's Thorns, some sort of armor enhancement as well, but Sim Supreme doesn't have access to any armor. I think he has like an armor phase, so that was something I did question, just to be sure there's no like hidden trap with this fight. But that's a passive, so it doesn't count. And yeah, I'm pretty sure this was just a diversity placement. And with Torch, it's not hard. Yeah, taking I think heavy to the face there. But I mean, yeah, at this point, it's just pretty straightforward fight. He'll melt. You'll notice as well, I think this is my 3rd combat regen I've chucked on. I just had a few of them in overflow, and with only 2 wars of the season left after this, I'm not getting a lot of opportunities to use them. I was on path 4 in tier 1 as well, where there's hill blocks, so couldn't use it there either. So this screenshot's just after I finished my fights. We had a nice lead, but then this was when I woke up. Unfortunately, reading back over messages, we did seem to get into a bit of a 4-2 lead, and then in a space of 2 hours, suddenly 7 deaths, and it just kind of fell apart. This is the final standings for our battle group. 5 deaths. It sucks. It's, we need to be cleaner, but not a lot else to say. We can do better. We know that, and that's the final war standings. Yeah, it's a loss we've got to pick up and win the last 2 wars to stand any chance at Masters. We could win both and potentially still not get it. So we'll see what happens there. Yeah, finally, something to hopefully end on a more positive note. We're opening a featured crystal, and finally I get a bit of luck out of this featured. I get a pull that I'm actually quite happy with. I'd say it's a pull that's in my top 3. Trying not to say anything to spoil it too early there, but not Hercules, not Spider-Man 2099, but probably 3rd of my top 3, Penny Parker. So I've got a 1 to 2 tech gem for her, and I think I can build towards a T5 CC, so we'll see how that one goes. And yeah, happy with that one. Might even be able to take her up for defense if it's something my officers are interested in. Might not be something I can rush right now with just 2 wars left, but ahead of next season, perhaps they want to drop off one of my defenders, which might be the case. I don't particularly think my defenders have been the strongest set out of our battle group, but we'll see what they want to do. And yeah, either way, I think she's one that I'll take up probably to rank 3, depending on how much I enjoy playing around with her, but she'll have her uses. And yeah, that will be all. Disappointing war loss, but yeah, we've got to just keep focused, not let it, put us down too much, and try to end the season with 2 wins, and that way we would still have a chance at Masters. But whatever happens, I think we can be proud of this season, and we'll hopefully continue to grow as a group. Not sure, obviously, what turnover might look like in the off-season, but, provided I'm still wanted here, my plans are to probably stay on for the next season, and then, take it, see how it goes from there. But definitely a fun alliance to be in, and, yeah, I'll see everyone in the next war video. Take care, enjoy your weekends.